kindly sit down and salamat po sa courtesy. Masyado kayo magtindig-tindig niya, kasama na tayo noon. Let me do the acknowledgements. The Speaker of the House, Bebot Alvarez. I think the Senate President is still there in Congress, so I'd like just to greet him also. The Cabinet Secretaries and the PDP-LABAN National Officers and fellow party mates. I have a two-page speech. Hindi ko magkasya. I'd like to convey something that is really the duty of the moment ngayong panahon natin. Our generation, itong ating whatever swerte natin o part of our destiny to be here. We have been companions in the past. Nandito yung mga congressman and also mga lahat, halos lahat. Nagkikilala tayo, we knew each other before I became president. And sabi ko by stroke of fate, but do not attach too much importance about really my being president at that. Mas mabuti ang magkakilala naman tayo, stay loose and you can talk to me anytime you want. May sabihin lang ako, I just came from Fort Bonifacio to preside over the demilitarization of the yung mga armas na nakuha sa Marawi. Please note that marami ang magtatanong bakit ganun lang kaliit. Actually, representative of the firearms na hindi naman pwedeng dalhin lahat doon. But pinasira ko talaga ng, I think it's a bulldozer or something. Pinasira ko yung mga armas, symbolic of the fact that yung iba magaganda pa, but I insisted that we destroy also the symbol of defiance of government authority. Alam mo, I promised the Filipino people three things. Whether you were for me or not, that's beside the point at this time. Wala na yun. I am not due for re-election. I just want to be here to assure you that we can be together if there is really this purpose of, sense of purpose in doing it. I must have that sense of duty to continue with the governance at anong mai-contribute ko. Whether I get to live ngayon o bukas o hanggang magsama tayo before or at the end of my term. What I can assure you, and you can be assured of along the way, tatrabaho talaga ako para sa tao. Alam ninyo yan. And maliit lang ako na politiko, small time lang. I just don't know why I'm here now. Pero bahala na tayo mag-intindi ng it's really something of a destiny. Hindi na kailangan magyabang kung bakit manalo ako. It's not a thing that really you can sigip ka kayabang-yabang. Nandiyan ka na, so sabihin ko ngayon, hanggang dito lang ako. I will not talk about it anymore. Politics. But I'd like just to move forward at ganito. I went there sa military camp to thank the soldiers because of their sacrifice. Some of them died. I awarded the wounded guys medals and all, and offered really to spend more money for those who lost their limbs, lost an arm, an entire arm. Na naawa ako sa mga sundalo natin. Ganito yan eh. I ran with just about 5 fundamental promises. And I swear to God, talagang totohanin ko yan. I will stop corruption. Now I know that there is a separation of powers. May kanya-kanya tayong pamaraan. I don't know what, either for an evil intent or for good, something goes wrong. Hindi ako makialam sa other departments. That's what I gave my assurance to Bebot. Hindi ako makialam sa inyo. There will never be a time that I will ask something from you, personal o for a gratification somewhere sa governance. Basta ako yung hingiin ko yung budget, and do not expect me to be calling you. Kasi ako naman, having been a mayor, pag gusto ninyo, ibigay ninyo sa akin, ibigay ninyo. Pag wag, I operate within the boundaries that they have set for us financially sa patakbo ng gobyerno. Dito sa akin, I just fired the entire cabinet sa urban poor. You know, I do not mind people going out of the country, but at least show me something if it's under an office, an agency under me. Pakitain mo naman ako ng produkto. But I will not be a silent header na basta na lang kung anong gawin nyo for the sake that there is money. And every time there is a convention, a seminar around the world, and it is happening every day, and we get to be invited in all of these things because we are a member of the entire League of Nations, or at least the United Nations. But kung lahat ng taga-executive department, lahat na lang tatanggapin yung mga invitasyon na yun, mauubos ang pera ng gobyerno. And itong talagang what got my goat was this. It's an office for the urban poor to help me implement or suggest policies that would redound to the benefit of the people. Lahat tayo, even sa law school, even in our dreams when we were young, we always wanted to help our government. Kapwa mo tao, lalo na hindi na lang ako magsalita ng marami. If you have been staring eyeball to eyeball with the poor sa mga hirap doon sa bayan mo, at lumaki ka naman ng wala, and you see now that because there is money, because it is appropriated, kailangan mo talagang gastusin. And you do it by traveling, what? You are appointed September, it was Redon. Then he's been traveling 8 times. Lahat ng imbitasyon tanggapin mo. Is that your justification? And you're even to, there's a requirement that when you go out, you give me a report of how you spent the money. Pamasahe mo, ano na natutunan mo doon. Basta, when you say, I got a permit to go out from Midaldea, that's bullshit. Is that the only purpose of going out? Getting a permit? Kaya nang sabi ko, I'm not addressing it to anybody. Ako basta hindi ako makialam dyan sa Congress pati Supreme Court. At ito si Sereno, sabi niya, Duterte, sabi nito, baski magtanong kay sino dyan. Anybody now connected with her, she's just dreaming of something o siguro, ayaw ko pinag-isip niya, wala akong pakialam, hindi ako nakikialam. As I have said earlier, even Aquino, when Chris called me na bakit, ano, sabi ko kay Bong yung aide ko, you tell Chris, I am not into it. Carlo Nograles is my nephew. Do you know that Congressman Nograles, yung father, filed about 9 cases against me? Ni minsan, hindi ako gumanti na gusto kitang patayin pag makita kita, pag nagkadimalas na, pagka litse-litse ang usapan natin, barilin na lang kita. Bakit pa ako magpapile-file ng kaso? Yan ang sinabi ko kay Boy. Utang na pag magkita tayo sa labas, bantay ka sa akin. But to be filing cases against former president, hindi ko ugali yung gano'n. That's the, pati kay Ombudsman Morales. Siya yung nag-umpisa. Sinasabi niya na yung pina-plus niya. Di mag-abot ng trilyon yan kung gano'n before I retire. Yung manipulation, ito naman she committed a fatal mistake. Yung nakuha nila na spurious document, wala pa naman, there has to be a predicate. There has to be a predicate crime before you can really tinker with the report. Nga sinabi ko na nga, telling the truth, if it exceeds 40 million, including my Insular Bank of Asia and America pa yan ang Union Bank noon. That was our bank of my parents. Sabi niya, Mr. Duterte, we have the goods on you. Go ahead. Kaya ako nagbibira ng mga ganitong corruption kasi wala kang talagang makita sa akin. At kung meron akong pera, talagang nilibing ko ng simento. Kasi doon rin ako magpalibing pag panahon na namamatay ako. Doon sa pera na ninakaw ko, sabi nila. Ang ano ko doon itong, I'm just trying to say that, look, no, there are guys fighting out there, dying for us. Hindi ako yung sinabi ko sa mga sundalo, I do not covet personal loyalty. I do not need it. I have no intention of overstaying here even for 24 hours after my term ends. I just want, not even good, I just want to apply the law, especially about na hindi talaga nawala dito yung corruption. It has been there, it's always a component of all governments doon pa. Without exception. Meron talagang loko-loko dyan na gagawa ng kalukuhan. Kaya ang aking commitment sa inyo is that because alam mo, magtanong kayo ng mga cabinet member. They are here. I do not call them. And there could be no time na sabihin mo na makinig ka sa telepono or na mag-istorya ako ng pera or about a contract. Truth to tell, nandito yan sila, walang papers na yung mga negotiations with China and everything ever reaches my table. Binawal ko talaga yan. Ang akin, mga appointments lang and the critical regarding security of the nations. And of course, yung what we would respond to the international statements that are made for or against the Philippines and our decision whether or not to follow gaya nitong whether if I think that it is not good. Sa Marawi, why did it take it longer than usual. They could flatten the place in 24 hours. But I told the military, look, ganito yan. Of course, we are worried that so many are dying there. And we want to end the suffering fast. But, sabi ko sa kanila, remember, nakataya ang 2,600,000 Filipinos deployed in the Middle East, mostly in Muslim states. Before you decide to destroy a shrine or bomb, even if there is really civilians there or even soldiers, think 100 times, 1,000 times. But what is at stake there? Ang mga Pilipino nandoon kasama ang pamilya nila. We have to consider the matter seriously. And I'd like to reveal to you now that I made calls. Of course, not all heads of states or the kings, but I did communicate with the guys from the Middle East or in the Middle East to explain to them patiently why we have to act like this. At sinabi ko, kung maaari lang, they would be telling the troops that dahan-dahan lang. It was going on the 4th month that sabi ng mga sundalo, Mayor, this cannot go on. We know that we have to be patient, but strategically, it will just worsen if we do not do anything, if we do not decide to end it now. So, bali na lang sinabi ko, and then sabi ko, well, at least I did something to satisfy issues of how this came about. Hindi sabihin mo na kulang tayo ng tao, karaming bomba dyan, ibombamin mo lahat. But hindi ganon kadali kasi ang when you do something, you have to think of all the Filipinos. And it was to our national interest to inform and educate at least everybody na could create a more serious problem for us. Na mabutit nandito tayo. PDP is growing big. I welcome the members there. I don't have the cynic comment about joining us now. Tapos na yan. That is how life works. That is the reality of politics in this country. I should know because I'm the second. My father, was the governor of Davao when it was only one Davao. Then ako naman, from mayor to diretso na ako. Then there's my daughter. Ngayon, sabihin lang rin ninyo ng it's a matter of politics. Hindi pwede kasi si Inday, meron rin niya silang sariling I cannot fathom about dynasty. Kasi parang hindi naman yan, but it's a restriction. Itong anti-dynasty, it's a restriction of the freedom of an individual, not a people. A choice who would be the leaders. Ngayon sinabi ko sa military also, sovereignty, kayong mga komunista, dynasty, kayo, anong ginawa ninyo? You want to what? Foist a leader without an election? Sovereignty is something very sacred. It can only be placed in the hands of people who are elected, their choice. He could be the son of a bitch, but if he is the choice of the people, wala tayong magawa talaga. Even if it is the haciendero who holds the feudal power over a plantation. tama yung sinabi ng, makinig kayong mga komunista. You know, you want change at this stage. You want to go to war. When we have been at it, when I was still a student, I was listening to Season, and that would be about 50 years ago. Why the hell would you want to perpetuate a struggle for another 50 years? And you want it by armed struggle. Sinabi ko nga sa kanila noon go mainstream, I will join your party. Nag-create silang una ng partido ng bayan noon. Early on sa years ni Cory. Ako pati si Bebot pumunta dito to join the party. But what happened? Nakita ko, they allow itong mga anarchists to have their hands doon sa mga sabi ko kay Bebot, kung ikaw, alis na ako. You're being manipulated. If it's really a socialist party, if you want to distribute everything, do it because, sabi ko, without an armed struggle. I cannot kill a Filipino just because of my political beliefs. Tama nga sinabi it should be by now a process of evolution. Hindi pwede yung revolution ngayon. At this stage, kaganda ng buhay ng mga tao. We're improving. I do not claim credit for that. It's the economic managers and of course, your patience for us to do it the long way. Wala tayong magawa. Sino bang ayaw na yumaman ng bayan overnight? But it is, I said, tama yung it hit me in the head right that it's an evolution thing. So, dahan-dahan lang tayo. But ako, I will improve my executive department. And I can assure you, especially the lawmakers, if there is anything that is really not good, wrong, illegal, kindly raise it any time at do not be hesitant because you want to offend me. The executive department and the Republic of the Philippines is not a private property. So if you guys, kayong mga Reds, if you want to hold power, get yourself elected. Then if you are there already, do what you want and do it for the country because otherwise you'd have to contend with the military and the police. Yung idealism ng gobyerno, hindi lang sa atin especially the soldiers. Kaya yung magpakamatay talaga, but they are conscious of that, but sasabihin talaga nila, we're giving our lives here, then ganunin lang ninyo ang aming bayan. Excuse me. Lalo pa naman ito sila. I'm not trying to define a class of Filipinos dito. But most of us, galing na tayo sa, if I were to reckon we started all with being same members of society. Pero may galit talaga ako sa mga elitista. Maniwala kayo. Itong mga elitista kasi, they enjoy the perks. They have the newspapers, they have the TV, and yet they themselves are more corrupt than what they portray people to be in their editorials. Mahirap kasi itong ganito. Nga sabihin mo ako, pinapatay ko yung media. Why should I do it? For what purpose? In a way, nandyan ako, wala ako, tapos na ako. I'm not due for any re-election. I would not have the stomach for it. I am old. At medyo pagod na rin. I've been serving my country for so many years. Pero kaya itong atin, I'm just pointing out how our idealism should move forward sa PDP. Otherwise, if we do not stop this thing, corruption, mahirap. Maawa ka sa Pilipino. Hindi lang, early on, I started by firing out people, cabinet members, and friends who were with me in 1988 when I became the city mayor. But along the way, mag-aaway tayo kasi hindi talaga po, even pag sinabi mo, yung pinag-usapan mo sa aid ko, yun na yun. Then you want me to prove na corruption. Para mo naman ako ginagawang torpe dito. Remember na galing ako doon sa baba and I was handling prosecution. As a matter of fact, if you want to know, during the years of Tanod Bayan, wala pa yung ombudsman. I was one of the two special prosecutors for the Tanod Bayan in addition to being a fiscal of Davao City. I prosecuted so many cases there about corruption. Kaya mahusay ako mag-present na kayang malversation yung ganon. Magsabi ko lang na isang daan dumaan sa kamay ko yung that kind of how to present your case patiently. Ito ang umpisa. Then ako, ewan ko kung anong tingin ninyo sa akin. But since I'm the national chairman, wala naman dito yung emeritus. Baka yung train niya na derailed. Wala na tayong magawa, nahulog yun sa release. They're still at it. I mean, yung train ni Sunny Dominguez. Sunny, what happened to the train? Derail, nahulog sa release o it's going smoothly? Ako hindi ako. Kayo magtanong ako sa inyo. Andito man talaga kayo mga congressman. Did I ever talk to you? Was there a time kayong mga congressman na tumawag ako? Magpakante dito. Cabinet members, laban. Meron ba akong panahon since I assumed office na tumawag ako sa inyo? But even to say, palusutin ninyo ito, ganon. Kasi ayaw ko because hindi naman sabi ko nang makalinis ako. I have had my faults, plenty. Whatever it is, I said at this time of our generation, palabas na lang rin tayo. We are yung inabot ng edad na talagang departure area na tayo. Maybe had we met earlier, then we have the luxury of talking about other things. But tayo, I'm 72 and most of you are nasa 60s na. Alam ko lahat tayo may management. Huwag ka magtanong kung anong sakit ko. You know, it's stupid question. You're facing me up, so you know, how's your health? Of course it is not all right. And everybody else's health. Bakit akin lang? Ganitong edad, meron na talaga. You must be crazy. Then what is your number one complaint? It is a body malfunction. What is it? Number one, erectile dysfunction. So who can claim here more better than what the others? Pati mo nagsikwenta sa istorya na lang yan. Mabutit na lang yan, you know. You should be forgiving to these pharmaceuticals. If I were you, you pass a resolution recognizing the expertise of Pfizer Philippines. Ay, tanan. Kung wala yan, wala. No more. Totoo yan. Kaya ang tatay ko died at the age of 56. He was a member of the Marcos cabinet during the first term of President Marcos. Kaya nakikita ko lang ngayon, looking at everybody, Maswerte tayo, ang totoo. Maswerte tayong generation, inabot natin yan. Kasi for one thing, huwag natin kalimutan that without it also, we are ready to die. Kasi kung wala naman yan, tangin ang buhay na to. Pero dumating yan, ang mga kawawa yung mga tatay natin and all the others. Ladies, total mo siguro wala namang bata. So, at the age of 50, mag-umpisa na yan. Huwag niyo sabihin niya nagbababae yan. Kasi hindi na he does not invite you anymore. Tapos magduda may babae siguro to. Sabihin ko sa inyo, most of your husbands are really faithful. Looking around. Wala na yang ibubuga. Ay, totoo yan. Imagine a life without that blue pill. Basic daw. Pero ito ngayon sabi ko, we are in a company of faithful husbands. But had it not been, sana, yun on. They are faithful had it not been for Viagra, which led them a wayward life. May gusto akong tignan dito, nandiyan na yung asawa ko. Ibubulgar kita. So, yan ang akin. The third is, I said, stop corruption, drugs. Alam mo, itong human rights and everybody else in the international scene, I'd tell you frankly now, you're wasting saliva. It is not an issue because I am not up to any other election in my life. And I am determined to stop it because early on, I dealt with the problem of drugs. Nung mayor ako, sinabi ko na sa inyo, marami talagang lumalaban yan. And can I have a copy of? You might want to read it in your spare time. But ako, when you in the morning, pag wala kang magawa, it takes time for us. That's about the time that we do. When you sit for the shit, we have something to read. Basahin nyo dito. It's a International Narcotics Control Board. I don't know, it has the logo of the United Nations. But nandito lahat, kailangan mo to, hindi naman, educate, pare-pareho lang naman tayo. The precursors. Pero, I will give you copies. Kung mayroon si Bong, it's all portrayed here from cannabis, which is really, this is the introduction. Then you have the cannabis, then you have the ecstasy, heroin, cocaine. Wala ka masyadong makitang ano. They say that you are into a stupor. I think so. Heroin lahat ito. Because LSD, nandyan. The most virulent of all is Shabu. And the thing that I think is that because it is a derivative of, it's taken from the poppy, which is an organic plant. Now, itong Shabu, there's a description here. Kaya yung wag na tayong magbulahan dito. It will not end sa panahon ko. So be it yan. Methamphetamine, kita mo, the other risk, there are so many risks here, but What is very telling is methamphetamine use sometimes triggers aggressive, violent, and bizarre behavior. Kaya nang makikita mo pati bata, 12 months old, yung anak ng window natutulog, kunin dyan sa tabi ng nanay, and then ipasok doon sa ilalim ng jeep. Yung iba naman, bantay kayo dyan sa, well, the most telling is yung grinding. Alam mo itong tao na nandyan na sa drugs, nagsasalita sila pero kaya yung grinding ng teeth parang sa tutulog, mga ganun. Kaya kita mo yung most of the addicts, sira yung gums. They keep on grinding. That's only one. He's eating himself alive. Number 2 is that they commit the most bizarre. Yung mga pamilya sa Bulacan, raping the blind mother, the daughter-in-law, the 14-year-old girl, pati yung 1 taon. Ito. Tapos itong mga taga sila Calamard come here, bringing with them a black doctor, I suppose he from America, by the way he talked. Putang. Sabi na, shabu does not, became a little bit of stupor. Wala ang tapos yung buhok na. Gusto ko, sabi ko, pag hinarap ninyo yan sa akin, sampaling ko yan. Maniwala ko. Iharap mo yung gano'ng mga expert, tapos yan ang sagot sa akin. With all, ang problema nitong United Nations ito, it is quarreling by itself. You have a human rights commission there, protecting the human rights of peoples. Well and good. I agree with you. But ito namang isa dito, magsabi, wala yan. And then they have this National Narcotics Control Board defining the insanity of the use of this. Ang ayaw ko kung bakit ako nagbumura, sabihin ko lang sa inyo ganito, hindi ako ganon. I've been a congressman. You have known me. I do not backbite people. Pero kung magpunta dito, sabihin mo lang, makinig kayo human rights with all your stupidity and these are the peoples that were killed by, supposedly, pinatay ni Duterte, 10,000. That's it. Magyaya sila Calamard, ito, pinatay ni Duterte, 10,000. Then, pati yung iyo, yung diputak, inang yawa. Tapos magpunta dito. Tapos dala-dalang record, they go to Europe, say, look, we do not give aid to, utang ina kayo, inyo na yung aid ninyo. Sabihin, ito yung pinatay. Tapos they begin to lecture in the international. Duterte is a killer. Pagdating ng mga lectures, ang Andras kasi is a social problem. It is an health issue. So pagka ganun, when there are the figures na matay, kindly turn the page because it is a social and health issue. Tell us kung ano ang gawin namin to cure it. Bakit kayong yun lang 7,000 without the explanation? Mga mayors ay anak ng barangay captains, there are about 40% of the total barangay, 40% nandyan sa Cebu. Kaya how could in conscience suggest to Congress that we have an election? Sinabi ko sa inyo, yan ang factual situation. Bahala kayo, I suggest we do not have the election because there will be more killings and more cheating because those who are in power, mayors and barangay captains, will use their money and naked force. Kaya niwarningan ko yung mga pulis, niwarningan ko lahat yung mga mayors and governors. But sinabi ko sa kanila, the foundation of my statement, I do not want to insult you. Pareho lang tayo, mayor. Pareho lang rin ako maliit na tao. I am not a significant factor in this government. But please, sabi ko, do not enter into that kind of activity. Piritan ko kayo. Ngayon, si Albuera, Mayor Espinosa, was he killed o was he, sabi nila, sinalvage? I don't know. But I know that he had a gun inside the prison cell. Sabi nila planted, well, saan man ako makinig? Sa pulis ko o doon sa mga inmates? I'm a lawyer. I am responsible for the law and order in this country. You are a mayor, you kill people, you kill your own policemen. Dalawang pulis mo, barilin mo sa harap ng mga tao dyan sa palengke. And you think it's good? Tapos ako, anong gawin ko? Ako yung presidente. Oh, we will just investigate him. Tapos for what? Bugado tayong lahat eh. Appeal. So many elections far and in between those years. Ano? Yung dyan. Mayor ka eh. He was there. Pati itong si Luot, sinabi ko, putang inang general ka, let's ka. Huwag mo sabihin general ka, papatayin kita, yawa. Sinabihan ko. You ask Luot. Kung nandyan siya, kaya Luot, putang ina mo. General ka dyan. Parahinog. Kayong mga taga-Usamis, magprangkahan tayo. Was there democracy in your place? Could you run without risk of losing your life? Was there really a free election? Kami sa Davao, salita, grabe. Pero kayong lahat dumaan na, mga senador, lahat, what did I guarantee you? Your votes will be counted and it will be counted correctly. Actually, there were attempts. I stopped them. Sabi ko, alisin ninyo yan pag hindi. Hihiritan ko. Never mind about na ayaw ko yung. Pero itong sa mga drugs, walang eleksyon. Isa pa yung talisay sa Cebu. Cebu itself is delikado. Ang problema nito, ang sense of security. Na hindi ka makalabas ng bahay, kung mayaman ka, okay lang. Pag mahirap ka, nandyan yung sa, hindi ka makalabas ng bahay, kasi magdududa ka, putang ina, yung naiwan ko ngayong anak ko, pati asawa. So yung sense of security ng Pilipino na wala. Pagkagabi, takot sila kasi nandyan yung hold up. Kasi when the monkey rides on the back of an addict and is squirming all over, maghanap talaga ng alibyo yan. And if he does not have the money, he will kill. And if he's already there, sick with drugs, he commits the crime. Ganun naman lang kasimple yan. Huwag na tayo magbulahan dito. Kaya ko sabihin nyo, when I was mayor, from a prosecutor, both ito a learning discussion. I'm not giving a speech. para makuha natin, magkaintindihan ba tayo dito? Pag hindi, maghiwalay-hiwalay tayo. Sabi ko, I am not a policeman, I am not a soldier. I am building a city. Do not destroy the city. Do not destroy the youth of the land. Because I will kill you. Nung presidente ako, sinabi ko yan, I made it very clear. Do not destroy the Philippines. Do not destroy the youth of our land because they are the only assets that we have. Pag ginalaw mo yan, putang ina, papatayin talaga kita. Now, find me a wrong in my statement. Whether we go to the International Court of Justice, I never said that Mr. Santos, you kill Mr. Mendoza. I never said it. I just say, do not destroy my country and do not destroy the youth of my land. Bakit? Sa crowd na ito, you think that kami, itong mga sundalo na to, security na kaputo, kayo, how much do you think you receive sa retirement ninyo? SSS, GSIS? And when you retire at 65, kaya mo bilhin lahat ng medisina ng prescribed ng doktor. Mga senior citizens, I just added only 1,000. You think that can help? Medisina lang, pag hypertension, liver, cancer, diabetes, lahat yan. Yung pensyon namin, kaming sa gobyerno, ako, sabihin mo, bigyan ninyo ako ng retirement, 6 million. Ang bigyan ninyo ako ng kunting 5 o 7 years. You think that money can support my eating, my hospitalization, my medicines? Kaya, ako yun. Ako yung presidente. Sila. Kaya nila magpa-hospital. Ako kaya ko. That siguro, I can be there in the hospital suite 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. At 7,000, 6,000, including medications. How long would I last? Without the medicines, without the money. Ito sila. The bulk. Ilan naman ang mayaman? Lahat man tayo, puro pensyon. Sino magbili ng medisina? Sino magpunta balik-balik sa ospital? Because we are experiencing it. Di ba tayo? Nanay ko, she was a wife of a governor. But at the end of her earthly life, who was the one who was spending? Children. Ngayon, itong OFW, they go there. He's a family. Maawa ka sa Pilipino, isang pamilya. When the father goes out of the house, of the home, family home, this family is dysfunctional. Because an ideal family must have a father and mother. When both husband and wife would work there outside, the family now is there to just to fend for the children. They rather distribute to the relatives or leave it with the lolo and lolo. Wala naman mga pera yan. So they just thrive on the allowances. But already dysfunctional. Yung iba dito, because ito, totoo na to ha, yung long years of experience, karamihan dyan mga liwa talaga, hindi lahat pero karamihan. Ang yung lalaki naman at time na other places, 4 years. Maybe you forgot about biology. May dynamics na yan. Good if they are faithful to each other. Magpasalamat tayo sa Panginoong Diyos. But how many will survive? This pang na yung mga babae, wag tayong magbulahan. Pagbasa mo sa newspaper, tumalon sa bintana, nagsuicide, or binubugbog, tapos sexually abused, and they endure it for many years just to send money so that the children can go to school. Balik-balik itong speech ko kasi parang hindi tayo nakaintindihan dito sa Pilipinas. Minsan sabi niya, ganun rin, extrajudicial killing, bullshit. Makinig kayo. Itong nanay, enduring rape, head of the family, mga anak, mga brother-in-law, papagpipilahan. Tapos pagdating dito, padala ng pera, malaman nila, didikitan nila yung bata. Alam nila may pera dumadating. Now with a frail mind, without a father or mother, bibigay talaga yan. Alam nila kung sino yung mga anak. Nasabi nila, alam mo si Duterte, pinapatay yung mga mahihirap. Yung mga mayaman, hindi. Where's the big fish? Putang ina, pinatay mo yung mayor, marami namang daldal, extrajudicial, pati mayor. Oh, akala ko ba naghanap kayo ng buaya dyan? O ito, pating talaga to, hindi ito dilis. Maraming daldal, lo din niya. Totoo. Kita mo, bakit hindi ako what am I trying to prove to you? Na marunong ako magmura? Lahat nagmumura, kaya lang ako talagang galit. Kasi alam mo, yung shabu is a commodity for the poor. Yung mga mayaman dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga executives dyan, karamihan niya nagmamariwana. Totoo yan. Yung mga mid-level, marijuana yan. Or cocaine. Pero it does not really, hindi kasing toxic as vicious as kasi popping nga Shabu talagang masisira ang utak. Pag kumitit ka ng gano'n, tapos ang tubig ng baterya mo, it's very stupid to say it does not have any impact at all on the neuro, mental, physical. Pag gumaganon ka, tapos kita mo yun, mga biktima. Ang problema kasi, hindi nila pinapakita itong human rights. Ilan ang namatay sa katurpian nitong mga yawa nito? A relative of the Mayor Parahinog had the goal to build a house at ang kanyang wallpaper was 500 denomination. Kita mo yung tapos justify mo, maawa ka. But son of a bitch, he destroyed the life of many people. Odikta destroyed the lives of the eastern side. Dito sa western side, ito yung sa Espinosa. How many human beings are now suffering, reduced into slaves, called a chemical shabu. Ilang buhay ang nasira nila. Then you grieve for this idiot, a son of a bitch, who was wielding power, money and all, on destroying the Filipino. You want me just to sit on my ass na wala akong gawin? Magsalitaan kami doon sa gawin ng putang, tapos mag-istorya lang tayo na parang wala. Ay, mag-alis na lang ako pag presidente. Hindi ko na kailangan yan. For what? I do not sign commercial documents. They do not seek my approval. Kaya sabi ko, may departamento ko diyan katrabaho kayo. Every time yan, every cabinet meeting, ang introduction is there any graft and corruption going on in your place? Tanungin mo yan sila. Wala kaming pinag-usapan. I do not sign papers. Sunny Dominguez has called me and said, may transaction tayo. I will be offended pag gano'n. Trabaho mo yan. Sabihin ko pa sa'yo, pag nagkamali ka dyan, huwag mo ako idamay. Ay, tungin mo yan sila, buhay yan sila lahat. I'm just trying to be, magdidistansya ako. Kaya ako, pagka binira kita ng korupsyon, may newspaper ka. Tayo mo naman lahat ng tingin ng politiko, basta maski congressman niya, makawatan kayo, gano'n, the article, bombarded by opinion ng media, pipirituhin ka. Then they are working for somebody who has been stealing money from government for so many generations, enjoying the perks because you are the elite of this country. Go to hell. Putang ina ninyo, bantay kayo sa akin. Kung hindi ako na naging presidente, makuha ka ninyo yung Milo. Itong si Inares, back taxes, billions. Kasi po, 800,000. DBP, kayong mga negosyante, alam mo naman ninyo, DBP, bangkaruta. Why? Because the call is the Lopez group of companies and their debts were condoned, not paid. Kaya huwag ninyo ako bulahin mga ABS-CBN. Let's say kayo. Kaya pag sabihin, sinisira akong media. Bakit sirain ko yung media? Bakit ko kayo sirain? Pero, he who comes to equity must have clean hands. When you talk of righteousness, be sure that you are right. Kaya wala ka talagang masilip. Baliktarin mo man yung central bank na yung yawa na yan. Pakita ninyo lahat. Wala kayong, lalo na yung taxes. Mga anak kong si Pulong, bakit sa pantalan? Di ba I've been telling you, at 18 years old, tinanan niya ng morally 24 years old yung babae. Ang negosyo nila yung jar-jar sa Singapore. On the side, pati ukay-ukay. Ayan ang nalaman niya trabaho. Hanggang ngayon, nasa pantalan pa rin niya. Baka na pantalan ng Hong Kong siguro. Yan ang alam niya na trabaho. 18 years old, umalis sa bahay, nagtanan. I never made it. Sinabi ko man sa Davao, yan ang alam ng hanap buhay niyan. Sabi ko sa kanya, pero pag kayong mga police, NBI, pag nagmag-swag ninyo ng Cebu, patayin ninyo. I would be better off without a problem. Patayin ninyo. Sagasaan ninyo, barilin niyo, problema niya yan. Pumasok siya ng ganun. But that threat is not only for me, it's for all. Huwag din yung sabihin niya kayong mga mayor na hindi ko kayo ini-warningan ko kayo, di ba? Sinabi ko kayo, hihiriin ko talaga kayo. Human rights. Akin na yan, huwag na kayong sumali dyan. Ako na ang bahala sa sarili ko. Ngayong mga Reds, you babe. Because talaga kayo ang target ng martial law. The rebels, the terrorists, pati itong Mindanao issue. Allow me for a few minutes. Ganito yan. You want to preserve the country. You want the Philippines to remain in the physical arrangement that you see in the map? Well, okay. I am from Mindanao. Pag hindi ito nahanapin natin ng ariglo, sasabog talaga to one of these days. You know very well, and I've been lecturing on this. Baka hindi kasi alam ng ano. That long before Magellan landed in Leyte, tunyawa na itong imperialistang isa rin, Mindanao was already Islam way ahead by almost 70 years. Pag ikaw hindi Bisaya ka, Tagalog, o Igorot, o Hiligaynon, o yan hindi naman Sugbo yan, hindi yan Cebu, it's Sugbo. The tribe is Sugboanon. Kung yung Bisaya mo, taga Leyte, hindi ka taga Mindanao. If your religion is Roman Catholic, you are not an original occupant of Mindanao. The Spaniards came, they forced natalo nila ang Visayas at Luzon. Bakit? Because of the cannons and the gunpowder. Pwede lang barilin takot yung lahat ng Moro. So yung iba nag-surrender, embrace Christianity. But Mindanao, kasi bakit hanggang ngayon hindi natin malinis-linis? We cannot convince a peace on our terms only. May poste sila doon. It's Islam. They were the originals there. Na pagdating ng Espanyol, they went coastal because they wanted to conquer the place. Ang pinakamaabot nila was the entry point there. From the Middle East down to Malaysia, tapos dito sa Indonesia. So they wanted the control. Until now, yan man ang control natin. Pero sa smuggling noon. So that the fourth pillar. That's about it. Yun lang ang presence ng, and in between, the mix. Then the Americans came. Massacre after massacre. O di luhod yung Pilipino. No, that's the problem because until now, may kasama man tayo dito, mga Moro. Pareho man tayo Moro because ang nanay ko Maranao man. Huwag tayong magbulahan. Itong Moro talaga na on the street. Wala yan siyang loyalty sa Republic of the Philippines. My father was a Cebuano. Even in the name Philippines, King Philip. Philip was the one who financed Magellan. Portuguese. Kaya they do not recognize. They consider us until now the extension of the series of government started by the Spaniards. At nakikita nila gaano ka-influence ang Christianity, itong Katoliko. Lalo na nakikialam rin itong mga simbahan. Oh, well, if you think it's good to speak out, then go ahead. But that's beside me. It is no longer me. Sila dito is because there's always a Christian leader dito. If not a king, then it's always a Christian. Kaya hindi talaga tayo magkaariglo dyan. Now sabi nila, it's territorial. I would like to believe that it is territorial. Maybe. Pero pag wala itong mga to, na hindi natin i-concede sa kanila yung ibang the historical injustice. Kasi pagpasok ng Amerikano, go to Mindanao because it is the land of promise. That prompted my father to go there and marry a Mindanaoan. Also, we were brought as, pati yung lola ko na dala na, and my grandfather was a Chinese, lamb. Totoo dyan. So I can almost understand the psyche of an average. What made this war really, yung bakit ganon sila ang tingin nila, why do they go into a revolt of this kind? Well, ang una-una kasi yung mga leader and politician. Baka hindi lang ninyo, I really do not know how bakit ganon ang, it's almost a feeling of animosity every time. Kaya ako naman, magpunta ako ng eleksyon Abra hanggang Luzon, maawa ako sa mga maranaw nandiyan yan sa out a living dyan, tarpaulin lang ang bahay. Nasasaktan rin ako magtanong, wala talaga silang, anong pinakanegosyo nila doon? Mina? Anong pinakanegosyo nila? Yung mga maranaw negosyante yan. Anong nakita nila na magandang negosyo? Di siyabo. And it fueled the extremism there, using the money they got from Syria. Yan ang istorya na. So we have a lot to solve there dito sa ating pagsasama. Pag hindi natin binigyan yan ng federal, which Norm Iswari agrees to, Murad, he wants a territorial claims. You have to carve out something from. Kung the rest of the Philippines would not understand that, then I cannot guarantee you that there will be a broken country. I can't get to a country that is not broken. I cannot guarantee you magkagira. Ang problema niya na ganito, I'm about to end, but please understand this. MI wants territory. If you do that, it does not fit into the Constitution. You have to amend the Constitution. Norm Iswari bides his time. He does not came any particular place, not even the southern islands. We are kept in the dark minority. Kaibigan kami, but I could not make something very clear of his stand. They profess to hate terrorism, and I believe them. Mga moderates to it. And they saw the futility of following an ideology which is corrupt and totally empty. All they know is just to kill and to destroy. So ayaw nila yan. Pero pag hindi natin napag-ariglo to, ang mangyari nito is they will go to war. They might be at each other's throat right now. Hindi naman hostility, but there is this issue about the Sunni and the Shiite. Lanao and its environment is Shiite yan. But the rest is the Sunni. Ang issue doon sa Middle East, Sunni and Shiite, it will come here, sooner or later. But if there is a revolution, if there is trouble, your enemy is my friend. So ito ngayon nawalaan ng base, mass base, itong mga ISIS will congregate here. And we will have a problem. We will have a problem controlling law and order. Kita mo naman ang putok. Now imagine an attack simultaneously in 5 cities in Mindanao or in the Visayas. You think we can handle it? Yung downtown mismo ma-occupy. You think it's easy for us to control it right away? It's hypothetical. But please consider that in your assessment. Kung sabay-sabay, 5 syudad, just like the you think that or they start to blow up things? Just like they could flatten a whole community. They could flatten the whole of a barangay. And that's why America, for all of its vaunted, is terribly, terribly scared of. Sabi na, we will not change, allow them to change our lives, our style. God on bunganga. But I could just imagine how it would be. The best way really for PDP, one, is to fulfill the promise. That's why I'm centerpiece. I am for it actually. 100% more than any other percentage. I am for it. Not because I want a system that would, just because there's a need for a change to change it. But yan ang hiningi ni Nor. And I'm sure Murad, if you just give him the territory, he will understand. Mas bright sa atin yung mga leadership ng MI. And they could go for but we have to amend the Constitution. For those who can wait. For those who are not, then I'm sorry. We'll just have to face the reality that there will be trouble. And if they think that the Filipino people can solve it on our own, fine. Dito. Pero I see a resistance. Kasi when I was campaigning, when I was talking about federalism, nobody was listening. Hindi nakikinig. They're not interested. Because hindi nila alam gano'ng kalalim ang. But the precursor of that is look at what happened to Marawi. Hindi natin maganda. They're all Filipinos. We cannot stop anybody, any Ilocano, Bisayan, Bicolano. Look, we come from different tribes. We do not share the same menu. Our dialects are totally different, the tribes. So what makes us stick together? It's because we consider ourselves Filipino, but we were actually erased from the Malay, the Majapahit, the Sri Visayas Empire. We drifted here apart. Unfortunately, there was this religion which not really interfered, but injected into our lives. Some Moro Muslims, some Christians. But Bicolano can never understand with an Igorot, and an Igorot can never understand a Visayan or a Manobo. But what sticks us together? It's really because pag makita mo yung anak mo, tinitignan mo, and you look at the rest of the Filipinos, parang we consider ourselves as one. So if we have to remain one and avoid trouble in our generation, tayo yung inabutan, this generation. I said, when we could have met many years ago, and we would not have to deal with this problem of our country. Wala pa yun eh. Ang problema dumating sa atin, and we are the ones now, not really in a quagmire, but in a state of anong gawain natin, because the problems of the yesteryears are already cropping up, nagbubunga na. Lumalabas na sa lupa, nagbubunga na. What to do with it? Sabihin mo, ako, pareho lang tayong lahat. May init ng ulo, but sometimes you have to just to be calm because there is a problem to be solved which would need your equanimity of how to solve it. Now, PDP can maybe help it. Whether you are predisposed or your predilection is to stay intact or a loose structure, we have to just to think about it seriously. That is my challenge to the kaya gusto ko talagang pumunta dito. Because I have to explain my side, and you must know the fundamentals of the trouble we are facing. It's not about yung mga laws na wala yun. At actually, the most urgent and immediate problem really now is Mindanao. At itong drugs. At itong peace talks. Now, the least served by the community is the agriculture. Paano tayo na lahat ng pupunta doon, sinusunog yung equipment, and even the mining companies are also suffering, and the communists are making it rich. Itong mga matanda na ito, sige sabi mag-revolt. It is only through armed struggle that gusto nila. Kung ako ang magsabi mag-revolt rin ako ng revolutionary government, nagagalit kayo. No to revolution. Ay anak ka ng So kayo lang pala ang marunong ng Pilipino. Kapat kami. Magsabi kayo revolt. O sige, revolt kayo. Mag-counter-revolutionary government ako. Demonstrate ka agad. No to rev-gov. No to. Kalog pala nga. Kung kaya ninyo na wala kayong Navy, Air Force, Marines, wala kayong police, kalalakas ninyo magdaldal na ako dito, magsabi lang ako, maybe revolutionary government will do. What? Allah, sige, demonstration. Ito namang mga human rights. Alam ko, politika yan. Kalukuhan yung human rights. Alam mo ninyo ang totoo. If it is really something which is not harmful to a human being, why is it? Sabi ko nga, repeat, all around the world, it's being punished, even with death. Indonesia, Malaysia. We suspended the implementation. We did not abrogate the law. Tapos sabihin ninyo, human rights. And yet, you punish people who are into drugs. Huwag na lang yung death penalty. Why do you send them to jail? Kayong mga European, tingnan ninyo, human rights, you allowed migration. Forced migration yon. Ngayon na wala na kayong space, sinisarahan ninyo yung borders. It's winter time, maraming mga Arabo nandoon sa labas na mamatay. So yung human rights ninyo is numerical. For the first 100,000, it is human rights. The next, million Arabs, you die there. You drown in the Mediterranean crossing the sea. Yung mga puti. Kaya sabi ko, karoon ako niya numinyan itong mga bulol na to. Kaya huwag kayong maniwala. Yung mga anak natin, kayong mga Pilipino na huwag kayong maniwala. Mas bright sa atin yung mga ugok na yan. Malayo sa atin yan. Kaya lang, you know why? They started their industrial advancement using the natural resources of other nations. They got the oil fields of the Arabs. They divided the Middle East arbitrarily. They conquered the Middle East noon. Far East they called because it was far. Tapos they mined and they cut all our trees. Tapos sabihin nila ngayon, itong mga Pilipino hindi marunong mag-manage. And you want a climate change. So kailangan ngayon, pantay-pantay ng ibubuga. Pero kami, kasi nauna kami, dito kami, dyan lang kayo. That's about it. So you're only allowed certain points, certain percentage of footprints there. O, tapos kami dito kasi alang-alang sirain namin to. So you went ahead to be rich using the poor guys' gas, diesel lahat from the Middle East. Yung inyo na reserva ninyo. Kami yung mine. Yung mining, hindi lang man ngayon. Totoo lang. Ever since you've been always. Tapos kayong mataas, you want us to limit because of climate change. Kung ako, damay tayong lahat. Bahala kayo. Putang ina, nauna-una kayo. Ngayon mayaman na kayo. Okay, kami, dito ka lang. Tapos incentive, kung wala kang aid. You know, I'd like to address myself. I do not know if the Filipinos would hate me for this. European Union, you keep your money. You need it more than we do. We will survive. Do not keep on demanding from us things that are it's a horrendous equation. Yumaman na kayo, ngayon na buga-buga na ang climate change, gusto ninyo na hanggang dito lang kami. O how can we be productive, industrialized if we do not buga the same as you? And you control it by just mga peace agreement. That is the problem with imperialism. Kaya sabi ko, mga iyo magpunta kayo sa akin. Ito, in front of the congressman and all, humanity ng Pilipino. Tana, you talk to me like that, I'll slap you. Really? Kayo, akala ninyo kayo lang ang marunong. I am not anti-anti. Pero wag na ninyo gawin yung bayan ko ng parang punching bag. Kung hindi kami makaganti, at least makatiking ko ng sampal sa akin. Barilin mo yung bayag ninyo. Tama? Filipinos are red. I'm gonna blast your balls there. Tangina niyo, bullshit kayo lahat. If you think that you cannot be fair, then do not impose it on us. Because for as long as I am president, I'm willing to. We will survive. We will survive. That I will. Without you, do not take advantage of issues over us. Hindi kami yan. We are not the right punching bag. Go somewhere else and look for the... You destroy the continent of Africa. Tapos ganun lang kayo magsalita. So the aim of the PDP is really to get a consensus if we can have a structure, at least maski drawing to present. Maski ito yung drawing lang. Then we have to restructure. At ano ba naman takot na sabi nila it will be a disaster. If it is disaster, kung hindi PDP-LABAN ang magdala, Brian. But kung ang PDP magdala because we want to preserve my duty and their duty to their country is to protect the Filipino and maintain and preserve the Republic of the Philippines. Ganyan. Hindi ito naintindihan. Ibigay mo sa liberal na hanggang demonstration lang kayo. At saka yung yellow, wala na yan. Hindi totoo. Yung mga liberal na, magsama na lang kayo, magkaisa tayo. Let's focus on, wag yung pera ng tao. Kalukuhan yan, hindi tayo magkaintindihan yan. Let's focus on how we can now solve the problems because it behoves on this. Tayo ang natimingan eh. Yung edad natin, pinaabot tayo ng Panginoong Diyos because there is a problem to solve. And that is really how to preserve. The critical years is ngayon. Totoo lang. Ilan ba tayong dumaan kay Solidom? Sa law school. Marami tayo. Mga taga-Ateneo, UP, pati sa eskwelahan ko. You know, si Solidom, basta may classmate ako, hindi bilya po, basta may T, kalimutan ko. May Professor Solidom sa remedial law pati sa... Di alam ninyo yan kasi kayo lahat nakatikim ng insulto eh. Solidom noon, for the rest, di ka dyan. Te! Hindi mo siya mga Duterte. Te! Kung hindi ka makinig, hindi mo alam, dalawa kami tumindig ni... I forgot his name. Bago lang kami, tanda na eh. Sabi niya, ito, pati dito sila, giri lahat. Ito nga yan. Why are you standing up? Sa akin nagatutok. Sabi ko, sir, because I thought, sir, you called me. I did not hear it, sir. Because you're always talking there, God damn it. You stay here. Brad. Di, punta ako, ganun. Punta ako, sabi niya, okay, you sit down. You recite. Ako yun. Kamot ako sa siyaw. Di, nagtinginan kami. Start talking, goddammit! Ako naman, walang tanong. Sir, there's no question yet, sir. Akala ko na kaisa ako. Kasi lalong nagalit, di po tabi, goddammit! Do not scratch your head and scatter your dandruff in this room. Keep it on your head. It's the only one you have. Kaya tayo, nandito na sa atin, tayo lang makasulbad dito eh. Really. Ngayon, if we get together, whether ako may, how would you call it, predilection? It's really nationalista. You know why? At the time of the election of Mr. Marcos for the first term, dalawa lang ang governors na hindi nagbumaliktad sa liberal. My father and Governor Ibarle of Zamboanga. Hindi talaga sila. Ang tatay ko remain, basta nationalista siya. So when Mr. Marcos jumped to the nationalista camp, so my father supported him. So when he won as president, he got my father with Maceda, with Ramos, Narciso, and everybody. They were the first members of the cabinet of Mr. Marcos. But there were problems that they tried to solve during their generation. And my father also helped in one way or the other. But he was governor for almost 12 years. Ngayon, tayo dito ngayon, I am the second generation. This is good as any other time. So I'd welcome everybody. Pati yung chef nila, sabi ko, kung gusto mo ka mag-member ng PDP, indak kita dito ngayon eh. Daginot na lang, paramihan na lang. You know guys, I am not asking for any political power. You know that. Kilala ninyo ako. I've been with you as a congressman, mayor, and a party member. Hindi ako lumapit sa inyo ni minsan. What I'm asking you is a unity or a sense of purpose in our meeting. I'm welcoming you all because ako naman, I'm not an original PDP. But there was a need at that time to be with one. So ako nag-join kami. It was not a grand party. But there is always a time, I said. Alam ng Panginoong Diyos yan. There's a time to be at each other's throat politically. A time to be separate from one another. But there's always a time to remain faithful to this republic. What's a political party anyway? Total yung hangarin ninyo, hangarin ko man rin. Stricto lang ako sa akin because yun ang promise ko sa tao. But I do not interfere with your work. I've never questioned anything there. Except when pero yung kay Justice Sereno, I'm not apologizing or making any excuse. I never, alam ninyo yan. All she has to do is to ask ito naman si Conchita, ang anak ko is related to her because she is the sister of the father-in-law. Kapatid niya yung father-in-law ni Inday. So wala akong sa kanya. But she started the Rocos. Human rights and all, you can start them. Huwag na yung publicity. But when you banner something there which is false, I assure you, kung baskingan, ibigay ko sa inyo yung written authority for you to pry into my assets. Ganon kaya ako masama ang bunganga kung mayroon may butas ako. Kung mayroon akong tinatago, mamura ko kaya itong mga sabi ko, wala kayong makuha sa akin. At kayo ang nag-umpisa. Yung for those who are in power also, like as if they are also, sumobra kayo. Pati yung EBS, yung pera namin, tinanggap ninyo. Hindi naman pala ninyo ginamit yung... Bakit hindi kita murahin? Look guys, tayo mga politiko, gano'n na lang kababa ang tingin nila sa atin. Ito lang. Even in the caricatures, you notice how they portray us. Para tayong hampas lupa na nakaw dito, nakaw doon. As if they are also living in a pristine. May mga racket kayo na sabihin niyo, you justify it. DBP went down. Kaya pumasok ang gobyerno dyan because hiniraman ninyo ng pera when it was government's time to be there. At hindi kayo nagbayad. Well, you tell us you paid. No, you did not, of course. What you did was to seek the intervention of the powers and you got a what? Condone. Huwag tayong magbulahan dito. If you want to, lahat tayo, you expose my wrongs and I will strip you naked in public. Hubaran ko kayo at hubaran ninyo ako. No quarters asked, no quarters given. Yan ang gusto ninyo. At hindi rin ako gusto maghingi sa inyo ng pabor. Never had. Remember Gabi Lopez. You went to Davao. you open the cable kasi meron doong existing and you thought that I was one of the investors. Pumunta ka sa akin, sabi mo, no? Sabi niya, meron nga kaming application. Huwag mong bulayin sarili yung marami tayo karap doon. Tapos sabi ko, bakit? Mayor ka investor ka na. Sabi ko, where is your permit? Blank ko yung papel mo, pinirmahan ko, approve ko. Then that night you kept calling me for dinner. Sabi ko, no. Did I ask you for anything? Contribution, something? Pinatawag mo ako doon sa opisina mo before the elections. You asked me, are you running? I said, no. We had lunch together with my aide and never asked anything from me. Kaya yung lahat kayo, nung nanalo ako, wala akong utang na loob sa inyo ni Conte. And even the mga... But for those guys who offered, I accepted. Heartily. Pero sabi mo na papuntahin mo ako doon, pabigyan kong pera, putang ina, gago ka. Wala ko na. But otherwise, pero kung magtulong kayo dyan sa federal system campaign at gawin ninyong slogan also for the unity to preserve this republic, magipag-ariglo ako. I will go to you and say, ariglo. Wala akong hingin. Just dedicate a portion of your time, your expensive and precious time, TV. Help us promote federalism, only the good ones. But if you think that it is not into your system, fine. Pero kung suportahan lang ninyo ang kayong mga network, wala kayo. Wala akong hingin, yan lang. And I said, I'm willing to shake hands with you. And you can continue with your criticism about corruption. Pareho tayo ayaw ng corruption and wrongdoing. But kayo, may mali rin kayo, may utang rin kayo sa gobyerno, do your part. And maybe we can talk about it, but most of all, try to be a part of an entity, or hindi kailangan PDP, promote something that will save and allow the country to prosper for our children. Maraming salamat po.